What's up? I'm Jared Welch. He's Aaron Halterman. This is Bleakers Off. What's up, man?
What's up? How is everybody? Look, I'm back.
You're out of the dungeon. How's it going?
I'm back in the office. First show or video since, 2 weeks ago? I am back. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling very happy to be alive and back in my office.
How did you guys celebrate?
This is not a rated R show, Jared.
It is, I thought. No?
You can't disclose that information.
You can tell me later. All right. When was it? Sunday? Was that your last day out?
That was the last day of quarantine, yes. And then we've kind of, we work in the same office. So I said, I'll stay down there a few more days just in case. We did a good job of getting you where you didn't have it. So we kind of stayed separate when we were working. But that's over now. Another 5 days, and here I am back in the office. So it's feels good. I did the Dudes Who Bet Sports show down in the basement, and that's it. I'm done with the basement.
It's good to have you back. It's good to have you back upstairs.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that. Yeah, you look better. You look rested. I'm sure you got plenty of rest.
Yes.
Have you been back down in the basement since?
Oh yeah. I frequent the basement often. Yes. So I like it. I don't like to stay down there full time. That's the difference.
Yeah, I mean it's a great place to go, but if you're secluded to the basement by yourself, getting prison food. Well, I guess you probably got good food, but getting treated like you're in prison, as you said, I'm sure it does get a little old. But like we've all said, you've got quite the setup downstairs, so it's not like you were really hurting.
It's kind of like a strip club. You like to be there, but you need to leave at times. You don't want to be there all day and night.
That's a great analogy.
Thank you.
I didn't really understand it until you said it that way, and then I was like, oh yeah, of course. Like you got it. Even when you're at the strip club and you got to go outside even if you don't smoke, you got to go outside and I got to rinse this off a little bit. I'll go back in here in about 15 minutes or so. But you stay in there too long.
A little goes a long way.
Bad shit can happen. All right. So while you were down in the basement last weekend, we got a big show. First of all, we got Medina Spirit DQ. It's official now. We've got the Rebel Stakes this weekend, the Saudi Cup, which maybe you needed that reminder that we're actually going to have a Saudi Cup, but we are. We'll talk about that. But last weekend, while you were down in the basement, we had the Risen Star, Smile Happy, return. We'll talk about that real quick. Smile Happy comes back, maybe gets a not so good trip or ride, and Epicenter continues to improve. So, talk about the race. How do you feel? And how do you feel? I guess the bigger question is how you feel after the race about those, especially this top two horses.
Oh, I feel fine about both of them. Well, I obviously feel better about Epicenter than I did going in. I thought he took a big step forward. And I think the distance helped him. I think he can go fast and just keep on rolling. And I think the longer you go, it helps a horse like that. So, big step forward for Epicenter. I put him number 2 on the rankings after that win. He's got what it takes to win a race like the Kentucky Derby from a running style standpoint. And like I said, he stretched out and he improved, and he just keeps getting better with each race. So I feel good about him. Smile Happy, I've thought about it a lot. It wasn't that good of a ride. It was a weird ride, all this. Don't think it would have mattered. I think it would have been closer, but I don't think he would have won. I think he's the one that moves forward the best off of that race, though. I think there's more to Smile Happy. I think he was capable of running a better race. I think he showed up ready to run. And just just kind of didn't get a real good shot at it. So I feel pretty good about the top two going forward. And, we'll see. Smile Happy's going to have to progress off of that race, though. That's the big thing. But he probably should.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in live. Of course, if you are watching live, if you're watching after the fact on our YouTube channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification button so you get notified every time we do these live. We'll be live this weekend for the Rebel Stakes. I agree with you. To me, we kind of wondered what Smile Happy was moving forward. We didn't necessarily get to find out exactly because of the bad trip and of the bad ride. It does sound like I did see a report earlier today that McPeak had said, it is going to be either the Bluegrass or the Louisiana Derby for Smile Happy next. I guess, I don't know, like you do wonder how much he progresses after that race. And two, Epicenter, I mentioned it last week on Blinkers Off that each race, even though it maybe didn't look like it, each race was getting a little bit better each and every time. And like you said, he really jumped up and ran a big race last time out there. I think he increased his buyer points, but 10 plus. So gonna be interesting to see what Epicenter did he peak? Is that, and now he's going to kind of level off a little bit, or is if he continues to make those improvements, he's going to be very dangerous. I think the biggest question, and Mark brought it up here, can he stalk effectively?
Yeah. Well, I think he's going to be more dangerous when he's in a race where he's on the lead, right? So can he stalk effectively? Yeah, I think he can, but he's always going to be most dangerous when he's using that weapon, and that weapon is speed. But yeah, I mean, if they're going crazy out front, I don't think he's going to go crazy with them and need that lead. And the biggest thing is like you said, the horse just keeps progressing. And so you get one more progression in Louisiana Derby, you get one more progression in the Kentucky Derby. Well, he's going to be right there without any question, if not winning in the race outright. So he's very serious. And I think he was just average, like serious before this.
Charles mentions Zandon going to Bluegrass. I haven't specifically heard that he's going to go there, but if he does, Zandon, talk about him. I don't necessarily think that he completely disappointed here. Ran a pretty good third. Pioneer of Medina, a horse that's we'll talk about him a little bit later. A horse finished fourth for Todd Pletcher there. That was your top four. Slowdown Andy was kind of disappointing. Papa Cap obviously continues to be disappointing. Those are like your big horses in terms of kind of going into it, what they might be. Disappointed. But the top three, Zandon, I'll put him in there. I think he still can get better and continue to improve. I don't know that he's good enough. Like, I think he's still a cut below, but I think he can rack up the points to possibly get into the Derby.
I agree. I think I'll be shocked if he's not in the Derby. Here's the problem. How is he going to win the Derby with that running style? No matter if he improves or not, and I do think he'll improve off that race. He is a lot like Mo Dungal, and they've come out of the same race as a 2-year-old. They need to show that they can stop the pace better, or at least, if not stop, be a little more tactical. And that's the thing. And Smile Happy's going to have to show that a little bit too. But I hate his running style. If we stretch out to a mile and an eighth and they can sit a little closer, I'm not saying be on the lead or be right up next to the leaders. I'm saying be within range and keep yourself from getting a troubled trip or getting in trouble. I think that would be big. So I like Zandon. I really want to see him next out. I think he's a fringe player off of that race.
Yeah, Nick says same thing here. Kind of like Zandon feels like he's going to take him a lot of money always, and then he's going to be flying from the back and finish third. And there's a lot of horses like that in this class. I feel like, and there is every year. And as we know from John White's strike system, I mean, it is a strike if the horse isn't near or on the lead when they turn for home there, because that's just how you win the Derby now, right? You don't, unless your name is Mind That Bird, you don't win from coming out of the clouds to win the Kentucky Derby. You might run up and finish the fourth, third. I mean, you can make a run, but to win the thing, you typically see that speed hold on. There is a lot of speed seemingly in this year's crop so far anyways. So Epicenter having the ability to at least rate, nothing says he can't. To me, that's going to be the most critical factor. And I agree with Smile Happy. I mean, we'll see if he can rate and get a little closer. if he can't, then that's going to be a detriment to him as well.
Yeah, and one thing I'll bring up, in 2019, Country House, who ended up being the winner, forget that he finished second, that day and then got moved up, but he was able to finish second in that race after stalking the pace and giving a trip sort of like what we're trying to describe that Zandon, Moda, and Gal, Smile Happy are going to have to get. He had never done that before. And that's why, before he did that, I've always said, well, closers, no chance. Closers, no chance, But now it's like, okay, we've seen horses like maybe get a jockey change and be a little more tactical and be able to finish in the Kentucky Derby. So that's kind of the goal. I want to see, okay, now we stretch out to probably a mile and an eighth for Zandon and Smile Happy both, or a mile and 3/16 if they come back to Louisiana. Smile Happy should say comes back to Louisiana. Let's see if they sit closer. Let's see if they're able to have that same kind of kick.
We'll find out. This is like this weekend is last weekend really was the start of the 50-point races officially, but this weekend the Rebel, but next weekend the Rebel, let's be honest. I mean, we'll talk about it, but the Rebel is it's interesting, right? It's not like it's a class full of huge prospects, but next weekend is when shit starts to get really, really good. And you better buckle up now because it's game on from here on out when a lot of these top contenders or hopeful contenders such as like Emmanuel start to either make their name or be pretenders. So we're going to find a lot out about these horses. So let's not waste any more time. Today's show, we will discuss Medina Spirit, the late Medina Spirit, disqualified officially now as winner of last year's Kentucky Derby, of course, putting Mandaloun as your official winner. And what this means for Bob Baffert, then we're going to preview the $1 million Rebel Stakes, the mile 16 prep race, where it's 50, 20, 10, 5 for the top four finishers towards the road of the 2022 Kentucky Derby, as well as it's only the richest race in the world. And we're like, hey, yeah, I forgot the Saudi Cup was this weekend, but the Saudi Cup is running this weekend, earlier in the day. So we'll preview that as well. Why not? It's $20 million. We might as well. Let's go.
Yeah. I've forgotten it's going on 3 times now. The Saudi Cup.
I know. A friend that messaged me about Ginobili not running or something. I was like, dude, you might be the only person that cares about that race.
Who in the hell?
It's like the Saudi Cup. It was just like the sprint, Who
in the hell do I not know that has texted you about Ginobili?
Oh, you know him.
Oh, okay. All right. Who was it?
My Pletcher contact.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah,
why the hell would he care?
I gave him some shit. He just thought it was interesting because he's like, yeah, they go all the way over there and then scratch. I was like, yeah, that kind of sucks. So,
oh, that does suck. I get it. That makes more sense.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Man, we got the Russian hackers are coming in here, coming in hot right now. I'm blocking them. Don't worry, Charles. Okay.
Yeah.
We got to take care of. You keep alerting us. Okay. It's 2 now.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Jared, well, I don't know. You beat me to it, or I beat you to it.
I didn't touch it. Yeah.
I don't know, Jared. Jared asked to think Saudi will ever catch on. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't feel like it to me.
I don't know why.
$20 million and no one cares.
I don't know why, but I'm not into it. Paul and I had this discussion. I don't know. I don't know why it is, but I'm not into it. Dubai, I'm into. Royal Ascot, I'm into. So it's not an overseas thing. It's just
no. And why is it that we came out with a race, the Pegasus, which by the way has only gotten lower in purse pretty much every year since it started, and we're still into that. Mm-hmm. But yet a $20 million Saudi we just don't care,
I'm weird in the fact that I look forward to the Pegasus as much as about not every race, but it's one of my top ones, like every year. I may be alone in that, but yeah, I'm with you. Like I'm always excited for the Pegasus, but Saudi, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. So I'll watch it, but I won't really take it serious,
Yeah, I mean, most people I've talked to, it's like, yeah, I'll watch it. I'm not going to bet it or anything, but I'll watch. It's like, why not?
Yeah, maybe that's part of it. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Jared says if it was 2 turns, that doesn't really bother me. I don't think that's it. It could be, maybe. I don't know, but I don't think that's it. I don't know. Don't care for it.
We'll preview it here in a little bit,
Yep.
as well as the Rebel. And yeah, Latruska is running. We'll do a little. I'll mention that at least. Latruska is running as a single. It's a free square in the Royal Delta. I previewed that race. Go watch that on YouTube if you want to already know what's going to happen. But I previewed that earlier today with Magic, and I was like, dude, I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. She's gonna kill him. It's not a great field, but yeah, she does make her return. The Royal Delta, you got the Saudi Cup, of course, the Rebel, and you got the Honeybee, which is who knows? Maybe we have an Arkansas Derby runner in that race. So we're gonna find out.
We're hoping.
We're hoping. I've got the plan laid out perfectly for how we have that happen. So let's make sure this thing happens, because who doesn't want to see the coach running in the Arkansas Derby with the filly, right?
I dream about it at night.
That's what you did in the basement all this time.
That's right. Yeah. So I finally had to come up. I'm going insane.
Heather's like, okay, it's been 20 days. Like, we get it. You can come up anytime. You're like, oh, okay, fine.
Oh, God.
Oh, shit. Okay. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. 296 days. That's right. 296 days after the race was run, the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission officially disqualified winner Medina Spirit from the 2021 Kentucky Derby and elevated Mandaloun into first place. Of course, Brad Cox, Judd Mott, and Florent Giroux. Additionally, they suspended Bob Baffert for 90 days. Now, again, of course, while the winner is going to be official, Bob Baffert will definitely appeal the suspension. So that's still good. But that, as it stands today, 90 days, which would put him out of everything. And the announcement from Churchill Downs was officially today. This was not today, but when it was announced on, I think it was Wednesday or Tuesday, maybe. Today, Churchill Downs recognizes Mandaloun as the winner of the 147th running of the Kentucky Derby and extends our congratulations to owner breeder Judd Mott, trainer Brad Cox, and jockey Florent Giroux. Winning the Kentucky Derby is one of the most exciting achievements in sports, and we look forward to celebrating Mandaloun on a future date in a way that is fitting of this rare distinction. So, Halterman, we have it. Shockingly, it seems like it took forever, and it also feels like it was going to take even longer. We do have that wrapped up in terms of we do have a winner of the Kentucky Derby of last year. It is Mandaloun. It's not Medina Spirit. Of course, Medina Spirit has unfortunately passed away as well. So it's just been like, this has been brutal. And of course, this is going to continue to carry on as it's moved forward to this year and how these horses are going to be trained and who's going to train them. Is it going to be Bob Baffert? Dude, how put this into your words? How do you move forward after this news? And do you really, like, to me, it's just like, we all thought it was going to happen. It happened. It doesn't feel like it's got to be a bummer for the connections, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's people were happy, but there's really nothing good that came out of this, right? I mean, sure, first of all, the bettors get screwed no matter what. And then, okay, the connections, Brad Cox, Florent Giroux, Judd Mott, this is not how they want to win a Kentucky Derby. Brad Cox, a Kentucky guy, a Louisville guy at that. And, that race means the world to him. And that's not how he wants to win his first one, right? But in February of the next year, because the horse, got disqualified. I mean, the last line made me chuckle that Churchill Downs is like, we'll recognize him in a worthy way. There is no worthy way. The only way to win a Kentucky Derby is to celebrate in that winner's circle and get that feeling of knowing you won it. That's something that they will never get. And so that's, sure, it's great. They're going to get their purse money now. But, that feeling of winning the Kentucky Derby, they got robbed of. As far as Medina Spirit, you almost feel, I mean, there isn't almost. You just feel awful for this horse. Right. I do. I feel awful for it. Well, he's passed away. He'll never get any credit for any race that he ran before or after. They'll say he was drugged in all of them. And then he gets this taken away. It's just the last like kind of straw. So Medina Spirit, obviously, just I feel terrible about that.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. It sucks for Mandaloon really too, because even though he won, it's like, well, not really. He walked back to the barn after the race. He didn't go. They didn't celebrate, and not like he cares. You know what I mean? Like they at least, but
he was mad.
yeah. Word is he's pissed about it. He's the one that reported the drugs, is what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not. Speculation.
He knew about him somehow.
Yes, he told somebody, and but it's just it sucks. And like you're right with Medina Spirit and the guy, like he's gone, and he's just gonna, and now he's he can't sire any horses, and he's just gonna be completely forgotten, literally erased from history, pretty much. And say what you want about Bob Baffert. No matter what he has done or what he will do in the future, those are also tarnished. No matter if he's clean as a whistle and this is just all the biggest, witch hunt of all time, doesn't matter. It's like he's always going to have a tarnish next to his name from here. Even if he comes out and says like, I did it. And it's like, it's an unfortunate thing for guys like us who, in a lot of, absolutely, who wasn't enthralled with American Pharoah, or when Justify won the Kentucky Derby, and it was just, that was one of the most incredible races to see in person, and just like you don't want to believe that every single horse was, and maybe they weren't. Maybe Pharoah did it completely clean, but we don't know.
He never will, and this has created that like you said, that doubt. The same way horses in the past, present, future, it's all going to be, he cheated. Like I said with Magic on the video we did, it's like he is now the Lance Armstrong of horse racing, the Barry Bonds of horse racing, Roger Clemens. Whether you stand with him or not, and a lot of people still stand with those guys that I mentioned, and that's not what I'm even here to talk about. That's the reality of who he's going to be associated with. And it's like you said, one of the hardest things for me is it ruins two Triple Crowns that meant an awful lot to us at the time, and still did up until this happened. So it really hurts it. And that's the other thing, that right there is the punishment that Baffert, that's going to hurt him the worst. Right. So this, you're officially disqualified from the Kentucky Derby. It just didn't. It's just like, that, A, I thought it was going to happen, and B, he's already been hurt enough, right? Like this was, I guess, justice. People are saying, well, sure, but his legacy's tainted no matter what that result would have been.
Yeah, and it sucks. It doesn't do you any good. Like the people that had Mandaloon on top, they don't get anything from that. Like it, like they're like, that's probably more than it pisses you off.
And I think that, like, my perspective of it is from mostly a betting perspective, and that's why I kind of just, once it happened, I just forgot about it, because it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, it does. Who cares? Like, that he screwed the bettors out of all their bets. And that's who really matters in this whole thing. I like Brad Cox, but I think A, he'll win a Kentucky Derby, and B, it's like, I care about the people who are betting a lot more than he wins the Kentucky Derby. That, to me, that's what I focus on and what I care about.
Well, and I guarantee you, you look at Bill Mott, with Country House, and you look at Brad Cox in this case, like, yeah, they are the winners, quote unquote winners of those races, but neither one of them wanted to win a Kentucky Derby like that. At least Bill Mott got to kind of, those connections got to celebrate that day. They got to, at least feel like sort of the winner. There's nothing they can do. Churchill Downs meeting, and it's not their fault really, but nothing they can do to mimic or to kind of bring that back. And that's the kind of thing that it's like you said, it's like, yeah, great. We kind of expected this, and I think everyone even thought already, like, whether it is Medina Spirit or Mandaloon, no one really cared about the result of that race anymore.
No, No. A minute after the race was over and it was official and the payouts came out, that's it. You move on to the next race, right? I mean, as bettors, that's what we do. Now, of course, we're a little different because we care about the history of the game and stuff like that. But it's like you said, even that's not really affected. Hey, Mandaloon's the winner now. Yeah, but is he? It's always going to have an asterisk, even though that he deserves it for sure. We're always going to know who crossed the wire first, right?
Yep.
And if they don't DQ him, we're always going to know that they probably should have, right? So it's like it's a no-win when this happens. It's a no-win situation.
Especially when you're talking about, I mean, that's all speculation, but you got, Doug O'Neill, who has been suspended for similar things or same things, and his horse finished third, and Brad Cox got 2 in the top 4, and just kind of like, yeah, that's great. So yeah, what move forward about past Medina Spirit? Bob Baffert suspended 90 days. Of course, he's going to, fight that, but explain to what, because a lot of people were confused, like, okay, well, are you suspended from Churchill Downs? So how does the 90 days play into this?
Well, the short answer is it'll play nothing into it because he will appeal, and once he files for appeal, that goes away until the appeal process is done, and then the 90 days would start over if he loses the appeal. But once he files that, that's it. He'll be able to run. And so, I mean, think of a person like Linda Rice in New York, a trainer who was suspended indefinitely and then appealed. And now 6 months later, she's still running horses every day on the NYRA circuit without any issues whatsoever. So that's what'll happen with Baffert. But in this situation, he is so the state of the Kentucky suspended him 90 days. Mostly, or usually, I should say, other racing jurisdictions will uphold that. The Maryland Jockey Club came out and said, we will uphold that suspension. So therefore, he wouldn't be able to run horses in the Preakness if he was not to appeal and just serve the suspension. So when they did that, and that was handed down by the state of Kentucky Horse Racing Commission, usually that is upheld by every racing commission in the country.
I mean, sure as hell. Like, that's the thing. Like, they did that 90 days and with that in mind, But of course, he's going to appeal it, and he probably will. But these tracks, NYRA could be one too to just be like, no, it's not happening. So the Preakness is the only one that really he could still run in, possibly if he appeals. John G. that asked if the Rebel, since Baffert horses can't acquire points, Newgrange wins, the second place horse get 50 points or just 20. It's just the 20. So he's literally stealing points. And that's kind of what is it like? What was it? Was it 80 something?
Yeah, John, he's taken, and I apologize that we read this last week. It's been a ton of points he's already stolen. He's won a
close
bunch
to
of
100.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously 50 points would be down the drain here as well. If he were to win again. So, and as these races get bigger, the points become that much higher that he's quote unquote stealing, which makes the point total of the leaderboard go even lower in terms of what it takes to get, what it's going to take to get into the Derby.
Yeah, I'm counting up now. Let's see. He has won 3, 4, 5. He's won 6 preps so far. Corniche, and then Corniche again in the Breeders' Cup, and then Newgrange in the Sham, Newgrange in the Southwest, Messier in the Robert B. Lewis, and Blackadder in the El Camino Real. And he's also finished second in some of those races as well. So, yeah, he's taken a lot of points, and Jared's pointed it out, perfectly. Oaklawn this weekend's got a great chance to take 50 points. We'll talk about that in a minute. San Felipe, you got to think he's going to have some strong runners in there. He could take points next weekend. The Gotham, I've heard he's going to ship one there. He could still point. So that's not going to stop. And when these owners finally decide to change barns, I should say, that's the only way that's going to stop it, because he's allowed to enter these horses in these races.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to keep taking points, right? I mean, no one, and he's going to keep running these horses in the the Arkansas Derby and things like that that are worth 100. And I mean, yeah, it's just with horses that are probably going to win.
Yeah, they're going to be favorites. That's for sure. Win or not, they're going to be short prices. And hey, they don't hit the board or they don't win, they could hit the board. And you're still in a 100-point race. You're still stealing a lot of points, even if you hit the board.
Yeah, and even some of these, out west. I mean, granted, that crop is not extremely good this year, but you might have Baffert go 1-2 in a lot of these races, and there's a ton of points that are being wasted. I believe I can't seem to find it. I think Pribman is the one that tweeted it out about the total, but I think it was like 86 or 83 or something when we read that, as far as points that he's won, quote unquote, won that have not been, actually awarded to anybody. So yeah, it's crazy. If you go to racenews.com, go to the leaderboard there, Kentucky Derby page, you can see the leaderboard. But yeah, it's the leaderboard is vastly different of what it would look like if you had Bob Baffert in the mix there.
Yeah, I was just, as you were talking, I was adding it up. They've ran 6 Derby preps in California. He has won 5 of them, and the one he lost, he finished second in. And I know off the top of my head, he was second in maybe 1, maybe 2 other ones as well. So there you go.
Well, there you go. Medina Spirit DQ'd from the Derby. Mandaloon is a winner. Is running this weekend. How timely is that? The Kentucky Derby winner is running this weekend in the Saudi Cup. We'll talk about that race here coming up. We'll see what's next for Bob Baffert as we move forward down this very, very fun road.
I just want it to be over. That's why I told Magic the other day. I said, just please, can it just be over? I don't care anymore.
Seriously. I mean, it's this whole last 2 years between everything that's gone on. It's like I had some friends that not really into racing text me the other day. It's like, what do you think about all this Bob Baffert stuff? I'm like, I know. It's the only way to hear from him is when it's about bad shit.
Yeah. Oh, totally. And they all are kind of weirded out when I say, I just don't care. I just do not care about this. They're like, how could you not? It's like, you don't understand. When you're in it, it's just like, oh my God, not again,
Yeah, everyone in the industry is over it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not, but it's like we're over talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, we're just when news comes out, we report it. Basically, that's all it is now. There's no obsession over it anymore. Kelby can't believe you're not coming to the Rebel, Jared.
Can't believe you're not going to the Rebel.
Yeah, I know, me neither. Listen, I told you, and my dad and I talked about it as well. It doesn't feel like it's Rebel weekend.
It doesn't.
I can't get into this meet, Kelby. I can't do it. I don't know why.
Blame Oaklawn for jacking up the schedule.
Yeah, the schedule's just it's messed up, man. I can't get into it. Listen, Kelby's having a great meet though, and that's what's important.
Well, I'm sure he's batting 1,000 down there. So
he informed me he's had a good 3-week run, and that's why he hasn't been active in the fantasy league, because he's been on the prowl.
Any foals in the mix or no? Any future stars we need to know about, Kelby? Let us know. Any future runners?
I'm not gonna comment, Kelby. I'm not gonna comment.
I bet they won't be fast. What do you want to bet?
Oh well, they'll be slow. That's for sure. Yeah, be mules like him.
Sure, we'll get tipped by him though. He'll tell us they're really good.
Oh yeah, that's true. He did tell me McLaren Vale was scratching before anybody else did. So.
Hey, you know what? He did come through with us for us on that one.
He did.
We had to fact check it, but it was true.
Well, I did fact check it, yes, but he was correct.
All right, let's do some Rebel. All right, that's what you tuned in for. We will talk about it, Kelby. Don't worry.
Yeah. He needs to know who to bet. He doesn't have a clue.
Okay. Yeah, I know. He's probably struggling. So
yeah,
I'm sure. Well, sorry, you don't have a Del Romans in here to give us. So
my guess is Kelby doesn't give one shit who wins this race. That's my guess.
As long as it's not Baffert. So.
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Saturday, Oaklawn Park. It may not feel like the Rebel, but it is the Rebel. Race 11 on the card. The Rebel Stakes, grade $2 million. 3-year-olds going 1 1/16 miles. Halterman, it doesn't feel like the Rebel. Usually this thing's in March. We're in February still. It's hard to believe that the Rebel is here, but it is, and it typically is owned by the guy we just talked about, Bob Baffert, who's won an unprecedented 8 Rebels, and it looks like a ninth is coming to him very soon because he's got 9-5 favorite Newgrange coming out of the Southwest Victory as well. Newgrange, 9-5 Halterman, clear favorite. Most of the horses that he's running against in here, he's already beat. He's got a couple new shooters we'll talk about. Newgrange, though, uneligible to receive points. 50 points looks like it's going to be taken yet again.
It's very interesting because he didn't run very well last time out in the Southwest, and he still won. And they said after the race, he just didn't handle the track at all. Well, lo and behold, he's back. So maybe we can talk about that in a second. But yeah, they said, he hated the track. He was kind of skipping over it. He was switching leads back and forth. Johnny V said, he was not happy. But here he is back. And like I said, he beat most of these horses last time out that like Ben Diesel and Barber Road, the second and third choices on the morning line. They won't be the actual second and third choices, but on the morning line they are. And, they had no excuse to lose to him that time, and they did. So how are they going to beat him here? I'm not quite sure. I think if you're going to beat him, you got to take somebody that's new, a new shooter, so to speak. I just didn't think the new shooters were quite strong enough. I think if Newgrange shows up with his normal race, I don't think they can beat him. You got to remember, he also got a bad post position in the Southwest. Much, much better, I think, this time. As long as he breaks, I think he gets kind of clear of everybody but the one. I think he just stalks the one, and there they go. I think he rounds the corner with the lead. They'll have to come get him, and I don't think they will. So I put Newgrange, no surprise, on top.
Yeah, it was funny after all the talk and obviously you could tell watching the race like he wasn't enjoying that the track very much, and how much he hated it. And then you hear, he's doing great. He's fires a bullet at Santa Anita, and they're like, let's ship him back. So here he is. So yeah, it makes things interesting that he's back because he's never been beaten. And I mean, he kind of had it all up against him last time. I know I get that he was probably better than the rest of the field, but Drew, was drawn wide in the 10 post and didn't like the track. You could tell it was still just better than them. And frankly, I think a trip under his belt on the track, the horse probably, gets even better. I think drawing the 2 spot, like you said, I think, he wasn't on the lead. He's kind of done both. The Sham, he looked really good on the lead. That was the race that Rockefeller and him were in the race, and we kind of didn't know which one to be on the lead. And Newgrange went around and just wired the Sham. I think he's got something similar here, just drawing that 1 spot. I think he's probably faster than the 1. The 1 and the 2 seem like they're going to want to go. But I'm with you, dude. Like, to me, you either are playing one of 2 new shooters or you're playing Newgrange. Like, and I think Newgrange is the clear single here. But if you're trying to beat him, because he won't be 9-5, because he'll be lower than that. If you're trying to beat him, I think you have to go new shooter because he showed that he's just easily that much better than who he faced in the Southwest.
And one factor about it, let's say he did, in fact, hate that track like he looked like he did and Johnny V said he did, it's probably going to be a lot different type of track on Saturday. They got a little bit of rain today. It's cold, and then they're going to have rain Saturday, supposedly. So we might see a muddy or a sloppy track. So that may not even be a factor, right? Magic kind of rewatched the replay, and he caught him like jumping over shadows a couple times on the backside. He did a real good job of pointing that out. Like the poles, they cast a shadow on the backside, and he jumped over one of them completely. So. If it's cloudy day, there's not gonna be shadows on the track either. I don't know. So I'm not real worried about the track. I think he's gonna catch a little bit of a different one. I'm with you though. You got to play the new shooters. The obvious one is Chasing Time, the number 8 for Steve Asmussen, as he looks to win another prep this weekend. The horse was a huge winner last time out, allowance ranks at Oakland Park. First time stretching out, going 2 turns, and did it really easily. I think he's got to improve off of that effort. This is a big time step up compared to what he faced in that field, but he certainly is one to look at for sure. And I see some people in the chat talking about the number 10 Ethereal Road for Dwayne Lucas. This horse won on Southwest Day, maiden special weight, goes from last to first, zooms down the stretch and wins by 4 lengths. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I kind of like him. I kind of like him more as an underneath play than to win, but I do think he's going to come with a pretty strong run in this race.
Yeah, I agree. I like him. I'm the same way. I think there's a few in here, and they're all new shooters. I'll reach it to 3 just because for Ethereal Road. I think, and let me be clear, like I think Newgrange should win this race and will win this race. But if for whatever reason he falters, then this thing, to me, it's like everyone else. There's a lot of opportunity here. I think Chasing Time, obviously, I'm going to go, I'll add Stellar Tap into that. He's going to have to improve. But, he's going to make a run late. I think it is interesting that he's even in the race. He came out of that very strong allowance race. Pioneer Medina came back to run really well in the Risen Star. He should improve second off. It's Tap It, obviously. So this horse has been going long for the last 3 races. So the horse is going to continue to, you would think, continue to get better. You and I both said the same thing, though. It's like, man, I get a lot of the jockeys are in Saudi, but man, you couldn't get anybody like, Torres, like, no offense, but it's not like that's like Asmussen's guy. So that's the concerning part. But if you're getting 10-1, maybe he's worth a shot, especially underneath. I like, Chasing Time and Ethereal Road. I mean, I think all these horses are going to be coming late. Just a matter of if they're fast enough to get to the 2-horse Newgrange.
So here's my thing on, because I thought when it's Drew, I thought, well, maybe I'll take a shot with Chasing Time. But when you look into more now, you look back at that race where he won. And by the way, he beat bad horses like a good horse should beat bad horses. Let me be very clear. But the second place finisher in the race came back to run 8th next time out. The third place finisher in the race came back to run 11th. The 4th place finisher came back to run 4th. The 5th place finisher came back to run 4th. The 7th place finisher came back to run 2nd. The 9th place finisher came back to run 8th. Not good. Not good at all. That gave me a little pause for concern on that horse. And that's why I kind of get it if you're going to lean towards a Stellar Tap, because at least with Stellar Tap, you said it, Pioneer of Medina came back and ran well last week in a tough race. So, yeah, he was 3rd, beaten 2. It was off a layoff. It was his first race as a 3-year-old, and the field was a little better than what we thought it was. So, and the other thing, if Asmussen really, really liked Chasing Time, would he send Stellar Tap up here? I'm not sure.
Yeah, especially considering you've got, plenty of allowance races to run on that car, on the same card. I mean,
well, and think about this: Stellar Tap was based out of the fairgrounds. Didn't run last weekend in that race.
Yeah,
sit up here because I think he thinks, well, this one's wide open and we could sneak in and get Derby points here. Or the race at the fairgrounds, we're not gonna beat Epicenter, and there's some other ones in there that are pretty good too.
We'll see. I mean, Stellar Tap has very similar numbers as Newgrange did as far as time form goes, not when it goes to buyers. About 10 points off there. So we'll see. It's Newgrange, and then it's everybody else. I really do think that this thing is that wide open if he doesn't fire. Somebody mentioned John G. Dash Attack. I especially like Dash Attack if they're talking about rain possibly on Saturday. Of course, we are getting winter weather here and down south right now. And then, of course, if you add in rain on Saturday as well, this is a horse who debuted on a good and then came back and won again on sloppy and Smarty Jones at this track, mind you. So to me, if Dash Attack, he was in kind of a no-show in the Southwest, but if he comes back, maybe that's an angle there. I would need all of 8-1 though, if I'm going to play him.
Well, we talked about Kenny McPeak a lot on this Derby trail, and we like him when he's a price. And I think you're going to get it because I think Chasing Time is going to get pounded into that second choice. Newgrange, obviously the favorite. And then, Barber Road and the Lucas Horse. Lucas Horses get bet at Oaklawn, and Barber Road got those second place finishes. So I think you're going to get every bit of 8-1. And like I said, if it's wet and it's 8-1 and you got Dash Attack sitting there, he's probably a better option than many of these that are not named Newgrange.
Yeah. And I think, I think Stellar Tap will be all 10-1 too, because you're going to have a lot of money on the other. Well, Aspison's got 2 or 3, but he's got the other Aspison Chasing Time is going to get a lot of money. So to me, I would honestly, and this is not, I do own the horse in Fantasy League, but you would know, I make fun of the horse more than anybody. I would rather play Stellar Tap here than Chasing Time, just based off of the value perspective. I think Stellar Tap has much more room to improve, whereas I could see Chasing Time. I'm with you. I'm not totally sold on him, and I think his performance is going to flatter him, or is going to inflate or deflate, however you want to look at it, his odds, because he's going to be lower priced than he probably should be.
Well, it's just, he's going to be too low of a price, and the horses he's been up against, they haven't been great, coming back. Not just that race. He got beat by 6 lengths to In Dreams at Oaklawn. In Dreams was absolutely smoked at Gulfstream Park, a couple of weeks ago. He beat Peaceful Waters when he broke the maiden. Peaceful Waters was terrible at Fairgrounds last weekend. So while I do still like Chasing Time, and I think he has some potential, and I really love his breeding, and I would love for the owners of this horse to get a thrill and get this horse in the Derby. There are enough question marks for me to say I would probably need a price higher than what he's going to be to actually wager on him.
All right. I do this every time, and this is probably one of the lowest I've ever given out. I almost went 0.5, but because of the fact that even the winner of this race and even the second place horse will probably likely be in the Derby. So 1.5 is your number. And remember, Newgrange, as of now, cannot run in the Kentucky Derby. So how many Kentucky Derby runners are in this Rebel field? 1.5 over under.
I'm going over only because, and let me be very clear, only because of what you just said about it's not going to take a ton of points to get into this year's Derby. And like I said, even if Newgrange wins, I think the second place finisher is going to qualify and be in. I think 20 points is enough to get you in this year. And then I could see the third place finisher, what if it's Barber Road? Well, he's probably in if he gets third in this race, So I think only because of what we're seeing with the points, I'm going to go over. But as far as horses that are worthy of being in the Kentucky Derby, I go under that number.
The 0 is the answer there, maybe, because it's hard to believe. The Rebel is always, and maybe that's part of it too. We're with us kind of not being as excited as Rebel as we normally are, because usually the Rebel it's loaded. And you're super pumped, and it's an iconic kind of stepping stone for a lot of really, really good horses. And I don't know if it's the Baffert factor or if it's the fact that there's not really any good horses, and the fact that it's in February, all kind of added together, but it just kind of feels like a dull race. The Rebel normally isn't like that.
It's depressing is what it is. We've been down there in years when, like, 2019 is a year I'll never forget, when Omaha Beach came in and they split the Rebel, and the Baffert Improbable got beat by Long Range Toddy, and it was just an unbelievable day of racing, and there's been so many days like that, Jared, where we've been down there and it's like, oh, this is what racing is all about. And now it's in February, and you got the Baffert bullshit, and then the local crop's not very strong, and it's going to be 40 degrees and raining. And it's just like, God damn, this is not the Rebel. So I'm with you. And also, the Rebel to me is St. Patrick's Day weekend, right?
Yeah.
That's the Rebel, we're drinking green beer and we're not going to bed till 3 a.m. that night. And it's just fun. And
we're going to the parade. We're going to the parade. And the Rebel happens to be one other thing that we're doing because there's so much shit going on. Yeah. And no, I'm with you. This feels like the Southwest. It does. I know we were in the Southwest, but I haven't heard anybody that say they like the schedule.
I know. Well, I miss the Thursday races. I hate Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's gotten really, really annoying as well. So, and I think that's hurt a little bit too. I think a place like Oakland, when you mess with tradition too much, it does get a little weird. I'll be very interested to see second, third week in March what that crowd's like when they're running races that aren't the Rebel. If that normal Rebel crowd is still there, I was talking to a buddy of mine that he always goes down with a big group on the third weekend in March, and I said, "Oh, the Rebel's not this weekend." He said, "I don't give a shit. That's when we go. That's our weekend." That makes sense. So,
yeah. Mark says his first Rebel in person was 2007. My horse, Officer Rocket, ran second. Some horse named Curlin won. Alterman, you know a little bit about that horse.
Yeah. Well, my first time at the races ever was the Arkansas Derby in 2007. And I remember my dad's selling point to me. One of the selling points was Curlin is coming back for the Arkansas Derby, and he won the Rebel, and he's coming back. I said, I don't give a shit about that. Like, I don't know who that is. And lo and behold, we learned about him pretty quickly. So, yeah, Officer Rocket, I believe. I think didn't Donnie K train that horse? Pretty sure he did.
My first Rebel was this your first Rebel? Or did you go 2008?
I saw Sierra Sunset win in 2008. Yeah.
Okay, 2009 was mine with Win Willie. That was the first 56-1 upset. Wins over Old Fashioned. And the very first Rebel, lost my ass. First day at the track, frankly. 2009 Rebel, Win Willie wins at 56-1. And I thought that was just like a normal thing, Like, we walked out of that place that day. We lost so much money, and it was my first day. And we left, and I came up to you, and I was like, "This is the best thing I've ever. Like, this is amazing." I lost all. It's like I was hooked after that, and that's when the degenerate was born, and I haven't looked back since. Right?
Yeah, no, that was seeing another. That's an iconic trip and just an awesome time. And like I said, Win Willie beating Old Fashioned that day was amazing. Amazing Destiny was in that race. I remember thinking he had a shot as well. Yeah. I mean, it was great. By the way, Donnie K had Going Ballistic, not Officer Rocket. I knew he had one in that race. But yeah, that was a really fun time. Remember, not to just throw in every great Rebel, but we've been to so many just great ones. Do you remember looking at Lucky when he won the Rebel?
Oh yeah.
Good Lord, what a race that was that day.
How about when We'll Take Charge?
Yeah, We'll Take Charge beat out Oxbow. The coach
beat out Oxbow. Oxbow was the heavier priced favorite there for Lucas, and We'll Take Charge was kind of like the also, and he came flying late, and yeah, that was just an incredible. Of course, we were there. Yeah. When American Pharaoh made his return back, and just a lot of good memories of the Rebels. So yeah, it is. It's weird. It doesn't feel like the Rebel, but it is. And a horse that can't get points will probably win, but it is. And guess what? We'll be watching it live with you guys right here on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe so you can watch that with us.
Well, one thing I noticed, Baffert's wins have come in threes. He's won it 3 times in a row twice, and if he wins Saturday, he would have won it 3 times in a row 3 times. So it's pretty amazing.
Unreal.
Yeah. Oh, we also on the sports show today, since 2007, a local trainer has won the Rebel 3 times.
Really?
Yep. 3 times since 2007. Isn't that unbelievable? Crazy.
Yeah, you just, whenever you have Bob Baffert winning it that many times,
yep,
it's hard.
Yep. Yeah. Asmussen had won it twice, and Lucas with We'll Take Charge. Or I'm sorry. Mac Robertson, not Asmussen twice. Mac Robertson, Asmussen, and Lucas were the 3.
John says that he must be old. He was at the 1973 Kentucky Derby when his Secretariat beat Sham. Well, that's not a bad one to go to either, I must say.
I would think that's great. I would have liked to have been there.
John G wins everything. Okay, he wins. Yeah. He would. You stop talking about the stupid Rebel now. Because,
I was minus 10 years old when that
happened. my parents weren't even thinking about me yet. So.
No.
All right, let's do the Saudi Cup. What do you say?
Great.
$1 million to 20 million.
Yeah.
Right. All right, 3, 2, 1. Make sure you go get the all-inclusive 11-page wagering guide to the 2022 Rebel Stakes for this Saturday. We just talked about the Rebel, but if we get it, the Rebel, but the whole card we have analysis of. In-depth analysis of both stakes, the Rebel, and of course, the Honeybee, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit. But you also will get in-depth coverage for the other 4 allowance races. We get it. There's only 2 stakes. We wanted to add more, so they're getting 6 races that are included for in-depth previews, as well as the entire card in terms of how we're playing every single race, the multis, the non-stakes, anything. It's all included in the Rebel Wagering Guide. Go get that at racingdudes.com on the products page. Just click that button on the menu there. 11-page Rebel Guide. Go get it right now. You get it for free if you are a subscriber. All right, Halterman. We just did the Rebel worth $1 million. So let's amp it up 19 million. Do a 20 million Saudi Cup on Saturday early afternoon, let's call it. The race 8 on the card, the Saudi Cup. Dude, 20 million going a mile and an eighth, 1 turn mile and an eighth for 3-year-olds and up. And you've got a full field of 14 lined up here. Mandaloon, your Kentucky Derby favorite. Mandaloon, that's right, 5-2 favorite. Halterman, you got Mishriff in here as well, of course, who kind of goes all over the place and won this thing. Didn't Mishriff win this thing last year? Whenever because it was Knicks Go and Charlatan kind of blazed each other out, and Mishriff picked up the pieces. Mishriff can do it all. 4-1 on Midnight Bourbon. He's going to try to do it again. Art Collector is another U.S. horse. Country Grammar. Don't forget about our boy Bob Baffert. He's got Country Grammar in here at 12-1. You got the horse that won the huge upset Japanese horse filly that won the distaff at the Breeders' Cup. March Lorraine. Siloue's in here. I mean, what more do you want, dude?
It is kind of a mishmash of craziness when you look at it. It really
is.
When you really read it and look at it. It's interesting. I like Mandaloon to win. I'll go out on a real big limb there. I think he's the best horse in training right now, older horse other than Life is Good. So I think Mandaloon is the horse to beat here. Hard to go with Midnight Bourbon. He just hasn't been able to finish a race off. The interesting one to me, especially if you get 12-1, which who knows how these odds are going to be. I think Country Grammar. I know this is a really, really tough race to run in off of a layoff, and who really knows how he's going to run, but he was pretty damn good with Bob Baffert, right? I mean, this horse was never that great with Chad Brown, moves to Baffert, and he's running a hole through the wind. I think if you get that kind of price, he's worth a shot. I think he's got a shot to upset, but I think Mandaloon's the winner of this race. He should improve off of that effort last time out at the fairgrounds. I think he's going to run really well. Give me a 7-3 straight exacta, Mandaloon Country Grammar.
I like it because I think that you're going to see a nice setup for Mandaloon here with Midnight Bourbon, with Country Grammar, with Art Collector. I'm sure one of these will be going quick early on, but we're going to see a very nice setup for Mandaloon, who should sit a pretty good trip and be able to kind of pounce late. I mean, he looks so good in his return. Mandaloon, that is, in the Louisiana Stakes. Mm-hmm. Looked really good. So to me, Mandaloon is the one to beat. I don't know. I mean, what it is about, because if you think about it, not only are we not like super pumped about the race, but it's like Mandaloon is like, other than I guess like Life is Good, but I mean, Mandaloon's right there, right? He's like top horse of our older division, Mandaloon and Life is Good, of course, and we're just like, he's running in the 20 million Saudi Cup, and you're just kind of like, yeah, he should win, but I don't really care.
Right? Yeah, it's like
something's wrong with that.
I'll set my alarm at like 11:33 when this thing, because I think it's 11:35 our time it'll run. Be like, oh yeah, I'll turn that on. After I would, it's weird because it's like I would rather watch the second race at Gulfstream than this, and that's just the odd thing about it. And I shouldn't be that way. This should be a really good race, all right? I mean, this is a good bunch of horses here, but I don't know. I just think Mandaloon is just a little bit better than anything else in this race.
Krabby Lion, Hot Rod Charlie is going to run Dubai.
Yes.
So Dubai World Cup, which is next month. So not the Saudi Cup, which is why you're not seeing him here.
Yeah, Hot Rod Charlie actually ran in a prep race over in Dubai. Gosh, I don't remember how long it was. Probably 2 weeks ago. And
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and won. So
looks good.
Yeah, he did. He'll be in the World Cup. A horse by the name of Curlin, not to bring him up again, but a horse by the name of Curlin went over and ran a prep and then won the Dubai World Cup. So it's a move that's happened before.
Yeah, and I don't know, like if you heard a specific field. I mean, I think like his Life is Good for sure going to run.
I mean, that's what they've said. They said Life is Good will run and IRAD will ride. That's what I heard. And Colonel Liam also going to Dubai, not for the World Cup, but for
whatever the turf
name
one's
of the turf
called.
race right now. Golden Shaheen, I think. Yeah. Something.
I don't know if this is real, but Steve says he heard Phil. I don't know if he's giving him shit. I hope it's real. Still, Steve said Phil Mickelson's going to be over to present the trophy in the Saudi Cup. That would be amazing. Things have kind of took a turn south for Phil in the last week or so.
It hasn't been good. He hasn't had a good week.
He tried, and the PGA kind of called his bluff there. So
yeah, hasn't been a good week for Philly. No, Philly's had a good week actually. My dog, but not Phil Mickelson. He's had a bad week.
Phil. Yeah, Mark wanted the same thing. Yeah, let's hope he's over there. Wouldn't that be amazing if he was?
He's not going to be over there.
Let's hope.
Yes, it would be amazing. Yeah.
All right. So quickly, Mandaloon. We both had Mandaloon. I know we kind of talked about it. Like, is there anything? I mean, to me, it's like win, lose, or draw. You're not really gonna do too much here in terms of what it means for Mandaloon. I mean, obviously, he wins a race. Like, that's great. But I mean, Mandaloon, he still should have a pretty good year here.
He should. I mean, we saw Nick Go running this last year, and he came back and struggled after running over there. So maybe, his first race back isn't quite what they think it's going to be. But yeah, I mean, he should be really, really good this year. And listen, if we could get Life is Good and Mandaloon and Hot Rod Charlie in the same gate, I mean, Life is Good would beat him by 4 or 5 probably, but it would be a lot of fun hyping that one up. I mean, that's what you want to see, a race with those horses in there. So yeah, I mean, I think he's looking at a big year. He certainly was really professional in that race at Fairgrounds last time out, and I think he's a horse that always kind of had the look of one that was A, really good, and B, could get better as we kind of progress and he gets better with age. Is what I'm trying to say.
All right, so Mandaloon runs in the Saudi Cup Race 8 on Saturday morning, late afternoon, or early afternoon, depends on where you're at. But make sure you tune in for that. You got to watch either way. Maybe you're not betting it. I get it, but it's a good one to watch. Obviously, to see what these horses do over there. Let's come back. We have a couple bonus races for you. We have an Oaks prep on the undercard at Oaklawn Park. They've moved this thing to race. Oh, by the way, Latruska is running in the Royal Delta at Gulfstream Park on Saturday as well. Latruska making her return. We talked about that earlier. She should dominate. Go to Racing Dudes or go to their YouTube page, the Racing Dudes YouTube page, and you can watch the preview for that at racingdudes.com. We have a preview for that as well. But Latruska should dominate that. But she will be making her, what is it? How old is she now? 6, I think.
Latruska is now 6. Yes.
Yeah, 6-year-old debut for Latruska after a terrible effort she had. That was the thing I talked to Magic about. It was like, we all played against her. At least a lot of us did in the Racing Dudes team that day. But none of us thought, oh, she's gonna finish 10th and getting beat by 30. You can imagine a scenario like it was, maybe all added up for her and the speed and whatever, but like she just was an absolute no-show after an incredible year.
It was crazy. That was the craziest race maybe I watched all year, just from the pace. It's like they put up 21 and 8 and she's right there. And I'm like, Jesus, this is going to be bad. She will have to run better than that. Breaking news. She'll have to run better than that to win. But I think she could probably do it backwards on Saturday. That feels not great. Although you do have Crazy Beautiful, maybe she can pull an upset. I doubt it. But yeah, that it was a bad ending to a fairy tale year, really. So I expect her to bounce back and run really well here. I mean, this is the easiest race she's been in a while.
Yeah, she's 2-5. You do wonder though. I mean, we see it a lot with these fillies and mares. It's sometimes they just stop. They're just done. So that's the only thing that gives you pause after such a terrible effort to make her return. But to me, the classy horses, even whenever they might be quote unquote done, the classy fillies, when they can make a race like this where it's very lopsided, feels like she should win, even if she's not what she used to be. She should win. So. Yeah. To me, and there's no other speed in the race, not like her speed. She'll go out to the front, and it's going to be one of those races that, Pete does one of his corny lines at the end, and she's like dominating, and just that's just it. So
yeah.
It's no offense. I like Pete, but it's going to have some sort of weird line that he's going to say, and because the whole stretch she'll be just running away with it, and you won't know what to say, and so you got to say something. So. Yeah. To me, she's going to roll there. It'd be more interesting what she does from there. All right, real quickly, Oaklawn Park, back to Oaklawn Park, race 5, the Honeybee Stakes. It's a Kentucky Oaks prep race, 50, 20, 10, 5. And guess what? No Bob Baffert in here, so they can all get points. 6 horses are lined up, 3-2 favorite on the 3, Secret Oath, the D. Wayne Lucas trained filly. She's a freak. She's ran like a freak the last couple. Chances are, just reading between the lines, plus exactly what he says, if she dominates here, probably going to see her against the boys next time out.
Yeah, and I think she should. She does have to turn the tables on Uguri. Uguri did beat her in the Goldenrod pretty easily, but Secret Oath that Secret Oath that ran in the Goldenrod isn't close to the Secret Oath we've seen the last 2 races. So that's the key, right? As long as she shows up and runs like she did her other 2 races at Oaklawn, she will beat Uguri. I'm pretty confident of that. So I hope with all my heart that Secret Oath shows up and dominates this race, because let's face it, the local 3-year-olds on the male side are not great at Oaklawn. And so for this horse to be in the Arkansas Derby would be fantastic. It would really put a jolt into that race. And it's just kind of fun to have Lucas with a good horse. And, you run her here, she wins. She's automatically, not by definition, but points-wise, she's in the Kentucky Oaks. And then you take your chances. And who knows? You could get her qualified in both, and then we'll see what happens. But the first step is to beat Uguri. Got to do that. Okay, get that, check mark. Got that. Now go take on the boys in the Arkansas Derby.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the path laid out perfectly. She goes and dominates here. And then, Stellar Tap wins the Rebel. So then it's like that way that shows him, it's like, well, this 3-year-old crop sucks.
Yep.
That's running here. Let's run her in the Arkansas Derby. Perfect. So that's the plan. You want some kind of big upset in the I keep wanting to call it the Arkansas Derby, the Rebel. So that way the coach would be like, yeah, we're going to run her. Because, that's one thing he said, which I thought was really interesting. It's like, I mean, this guy knows that. I mean, the guy knows everything. And it's like, there's like a couple factors you got to look for when it comes to running a filly against the boys. Is that one, they have to be dominant in their division. Like no way around it. Not just winning races. They've got to dominate their filly races. That's step 1. Step 2 is you got to have an idea of who you're running against, like you got to know that maybe this is a weaker class. Maybe I can take a shot against this field, like I'm not going to put that horse in against Justify or whatever, like, the case may be. So you kind of can see the writing is sort of starting to be on the wall a little bit on what could possibly take place if she dominates and we see an upset in the Rebel. Even if we don't, if it's not like an overly impressive effort by Newgrange, I think you could still see her because the coach won't be able to contain himself. He won't be able to contain himself.
I'm going to guarantee you, if Newgrange wins by 15 and runs a 110 buyer Saturday, if Secret Oath dominates the Honeybee, she will be in the Arkansas Derby. Mark it down.
I don't know, because he'll be training Newgrange too. So
good. Now there's the other factor for sure. If Lucas gets all Baffert's horses, Mark made a comment. He won the Kentucky Derby with a filly horse by the name of Winning Colors, and what he did is the same kind of thing. He ran the horse in the Santa Anita Oaks. Then he ran the horse. The last prep was the Santa Anita Derby. She won both, and then she won the Kentucky Derby. So. Again, Secret Oath has to go out, has to prove it in the Honeybee, 1,000%. If she doesn't run well, if she wins and she doesn't look very good, then it's over. But if she dominates again and she earns it, she'll earn that chance at the Arkansas Derby. So that's the hope. I'm nervous because I want that to happen so much that I get nervous in those kind of situations. And it looks like on paper it should happen. So let's keep our fingers crossed.
Let's hope. The daughter of Arrogant and Absent-Minded, a horse that obviously is near and dear to our hearts as well. So just be amazing to see Secret Oath run against the boys next time out. We are both picking her to win the Honeybee.
Yep. Jamal says, let's talk Rebel.
Where you been, Jamal? We already talked about it, homie.
Yeah, just scroll back a little ways. We talked about the Rebel.
Just rewind, dude. Talk about the Rebel. Talk about the Rebel. We did. That was the first time we talked about for like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
This will be, if you can't figure that out, it'll be on the YouTube channel like after we're done live, and you can watch it there as well. So or listen to it on the podcast, like 1,000 different ways you can get a Rebel conversation there as well. So
or just give me a call.
Or here's Halterman's number. Just kidding. I keep saying one of these days I can't decide if it's gonna be Magic or Samich, but one of these guys that emails us, I'm gonna just give out the number. Be like, hey, this is our 24/7 support line.
I'll give it a Magic's.
Guaranteed. Reach out all times. They will respond.
Because I think Magic will answer. I know Samich won't. That's the difference.
Yeah. Well, it would be funny for like 2 seconds for Samich, because then he'd be like, oh, that's funny. But Magic would he would get very flustered about the whole deal. So,
well, Magic would think that we've assigned him that position, and so he would really help him.
Tell Magic too, like that. It's like, hey, don't tell him about the customer service. But like, dude, we have a very important client that should be calling you about some, to talk about the site. Like, you got to make sure you answer. Then when he answers, the guy's bitching about the trifecta Golden Gate or something, and like, what?
Oh man,
I love it. Don't listen. Hopefully, Magic's not listening. I'm sure he's not. So.
No, he never does. But yeah, Jamal, just hit the rewind, or if you can't, it'll be up soon.
All right. So all the time we have. Check us out at racingdudes.com for free picks, and of course our premium selections on our products page. Click the Get Racing Dudes Premium button at the menu at racingdudes.com. Remember, go check out the inside track to the 2022 Rebel Stakes wagering guys. If you want more information about how we're betting the Rebel, how we're betting the undercard, how we're betting the Honeybee, all of it's included in this 11-page wagering guide. You'll get that right now at racingdudes.com. Remember, we are your destination site for all free horse racing picks to all the major horse racing tracks. We're on Twitter at racing_dudes, Instagram and Facebook. You can check us out, all our episodes, of course, on our YouTube page. Just look at Racing Dudes in the search there at YouTube, and you go subscribe, and you get alerted when we go live or all our videos go out. You can also listen to all these blinkers off episodes wherever you get your podcasts. All the Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts, we're on there. The Magic Mike Show, they are as well. They did the Saturday late pick 4 at Oaklawn Park. So you want their analysis of not just the Rebel, but the last 4 races at Oaklawn Park, including the epic Archie Bread to cap off the day, right? Who doesn't love an Archie Bread to end the day? You got the Rebel, and then you got Garhole. No, he's not running in it, but we got horses. I know. I was bummed when I didn't see him in there.
I think Kelby's favorite trainer, Tammy Ormsby, is going to win that race.
Ooh, he loves him some Tammy Ormsby. So, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully he's still on here.
Little inside joke there. So.
I would love to get his reaction to that comment right there. Oh shit, dude, that is funny. All right, final thoughts, Haltern. Besides Tammy Ormsby,
if people only knew. I'm excited for Tammy in the 12th at Oaklawn. I'm really excited to get Ricardo Santana aboard. Bet that horse. Can't remember the horse's name. Number 3. Anyway, I'm excited for the day. I mean, I'm sure by the time Saturday gets here, I'll be pumped up about it. So it's going to be another good weekend. They all are right now. It's just what we're in, the time period we're in. So it's great. And by the way, Waylon asked, what are my thoughts on MJF's promo last night? Unbelievable. One of the best I've ever seen.
Oh, well, I'll have to watch. Sylvian says, bring Papa Dude Saturday. Can you get Papa Dude on?
Let's see. Hold on. Let me see if Missouri Southern's playing at home. If they're not, I think he will come on. Let's see. By the way, thanks everybody for listening listening to the sports show. Boy, they're setting records for our shows lately. They've been really, really good. So thanks everybody for that. Missouri Southern is on the road, so I think we can get Papa Dude.
All right, Sylvian. Make sure if you're on Twitter, I don't know if you are. I can't remember if you're on Twitter or not.
Yep, he is.
Tweet him. Say, was it like? Okay, here's the thing. Like, we let him set it up himself, which that was Halterman's fault.
True.
And what would you guys say if you're saying, "Hey, Papa Dude, set up a Twitter account"? What would your first thought be of the Twitter handle? Anybody? Any guesses? Like at Papa Dude, maybe.
Yeah, at Papa Dude, at Papa_Dude. If that's taken at Papa Dude _22, something like that. Yeah.
Racing Dudes, Papa Dude, whatever. Like there's 1,000 different Papa Dude related terms.
Correct.
He goes with his real name, and it's like Halterman at Halterman Mike or at Halterman _ Mike.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like, that is your name, but no one calls you Mike Halterman.
Literally, none of our audience knows who that is. No. But now what he did do, I'll give him credit for this. His handle said Mike Halterman as well. Like when you click on it, like that's what was his name. And I was like, change that to Papa Dude. So he changed it to that. So if you search Papa Dude, he will come up.
There you go. Thank you.
But I don't know.
Yeah, the love advisor, Papa Dude. That's right.
That's right. Yes.
My life has changed. Not in a good way.
Have you taken his advice?
Yeah, I did, and it's ruined my life. So,
well,
although he was spot on about the pizza, so spot on advice. And the big girls are fun. That's what he said.
See, he was. I think he about got divorced over that one, but he.
Well,
what can you do?
What can you do? You know, sometimes you're not going to win them all. You know what I mean?
You can't win them all.
Man, guys. All right. Yeah, the Rebel this weekend. Next weekend, guys, you got the Gotham, the Fountain Youth, and the San Felipe all on the same day. Magic. Good luck with that. It's going to be mega weekend next weekend. I mean, Fountain of Youth, you got Emmanuel going to run in that. The San Felipe, I'm sure, it's not going to be Messier, Halterman. You better be worried about that. He hasn't had to work since his win, but Messier is not going to be in it. But you're probably going to get, whether it be McLaren Bell, who scratched out of that Arkansas or the allowance race on the Arkansas at Hot Springs. You might have, and then you're going to, of course, have the Gotham. Mm-hmm. Gotham might be the weak one of the three. It might be. It probably will be. But then you got Tampa Bay Derby. And then you got the Louisiana Derby. It's on, man.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah. All right. We'll be live on Saturday at, what do you say, 4:45, I want to say.
It'll probably be a shorter show, right? Because there's only one stakes. It's just the Rebel.
Yes. It's going to be it's going to be right before the race prior to the Derby, which I believe is like 4:49 or something like that. So it's going to be right before that. I believe it's 4:45 Central Time. We'll probably be on till approximately 6. It's going to be like an hour show.
We're going to stay on for Tammy's race, though, right?
Unless Newgrange wins, and we're just going to be like, fuck it. See ya, Newgrange winner. No, we'll stay on for Tammy. Only if we can get Kelby on to talk about his insight of what he knows about that horse. So
I will work on that.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll work on something. So All right, guys. That's a wrap. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Remember, go subscribe at racingdudes.com. If you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can do that as well. You get alerted. Hit that notification bell. I need like a ding every time. How about you do it whenever I say?
Hold on. I think we have sounds now. Hold on. Let me see.
There's no way he's got sounds for that, does he?
Ding. Let's see.
Oh, wait, here. Oh, that's not it.
That's not it. No.
Hey, do you guys think Newgrange is going to win on Saturday?
Run, you little bitch.
That's my favorite. I use every excuse I can. I want to play that clip. I told Magic if I don't hear that at least 5 times on the live stream, I'm going to be upset on Saturday. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Jared Welch. He's Aaron Halterman. Good luck this weekend.
This has been a presentation of RacingDudes.com, your destination for all things horse racing and sports betting. Whether you want free winners, expert insider picks, up-to-the-minute trackside weather reports, or podcasts and videos for bettors of all skill levels, never make another wager without visiting the Racing Dudes. First,